Hey, good afternoon, everybody. We're going to get ready to get started with the Truth Legal Report in just a few moments. Hopefully, everybody can come on in and join the show as we're going to get ready to talk about. Uh, we're going to basically talk about all the games that happened this past Sunday, and which teams did well, which teams did not, and we're definitely going to talk about that. And of course, we have some breaking news that has come across as well, so we're definitely going to get into that. Definitely make sure you share this show out to everybody. Share it out to all the people and all the fans, and we're going to definitely get into that. And also make sure you share this show out on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and YouTube as well. So definitely make sure you do that. And we're gonna get right into everything that's gonna be going on. Of course, again, like some big news definitely came out. So we're definitely going to talk about that. And we're going to get started with the Truth League Report. And we're going to get everything going in just under 60 seconds.
Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody?
What's going on, everybody? We're going to get everything started right now. So welcome on into the Truth League Report. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. the Blue Enforcer, a.k.a. the Truth. And we are going to have a very good time on this afternoon. I know some of y'all are probably working and, definitely doing your duties and everything. But hopefully some of you can take a breather and are able to listen while you're at work or listen while you are relaxing on a day off on Monday, because I know some of you, like myself, have a day off. So definitely come on in and let's have a little fun talking about the week that was week 7. So let's definitely get into that. Again, make sure y'all share this show out. Definitely share it out to everybody, whether on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, or if you're watching anywhere on any of the podcast platforms as well. Definitely make sure y'all like the show. Definitely hit that like button. And also make sure you subscribe to the show if you haven't already. And then that way you'll know, that way you'll have updates of all of the action that goes on, all of the shows that happen. And we will definitely get into all of that. So, hopefully everybody will tune in, and we will definitely have some fun, definitely trying to grow this channel, trying to grow to other football fans in the world, so that everybody can kind of get a view of this show as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We do have some breaking news, and of course our resident Titans hater is in the fold, so we're definitely going to get into that. But we do have some breaking news that has broken out in the NFL that has just come across in the last, I would say, 20 minutes or so, and that is The Arizona Cardinals have acquired wide receiver Robbie Anderson from the Carolina Panthers. Of course, this comes on the heels of Steve Wilks benching Robbie Anderson yesterday during their game against the LA Rams. And it looks like there was some spats between him and the wide receivers coach. And so this has led to the trade that the Cardinals give Robbie Anderson. The compensation is unknown as of right now, but of course the Cardinals will pay off the rest of the $690,000 salary that Robbie Anderson makes for the remainder of the year. So Robbie Anderson gets a fresh start in Arizona. And so basically, instead of traveling back to Carolina with the team, he now will stay on the West Coast and stay and go to Arizona. And now another weapon for Kyler Murray. So Murray gets another weapon to go along with AJ Green, along with DeAndre Hopkins, who will be coming back and everything. So, right now, of course, with Carolina firing Matt Rule a few weeks ago, now basically, a lot of people think this is a fire sale that could be happening in Carolina, and that this could lead to, Carolina basically dumping quite a few players to obtain draft assets. So it's going to be very interesting to see how all of this plays out. It'll be very interesting to see going forward what does happen. Does do more players get traded at some point or not? That's something we're definitely going to be finding out in the coming weeks, with the trade deadline a few weeks away on November 1st, if I'm not mistaken. I believe is the trade deadline. So I'm going to look that up right now so that I can be very accurate with that information. And so, yes, the trade deadline will follow week 8 of the NFL season. So right now we're in week 6. And so November 1st is the trade deadline. So you have until then to try to make some moves. And, me being, of course, a Titans fan, I do hope the Titans do get involved in the trade discussion with Carolina, maybe for a certain wide receiver, I don't know, DJ Moore perhaps, or maybe for a certain pass rusher, I don't know, Brian Burns or defensive tackle Derek Brown. That could definitely be something the Titans could do to help their team. So we're definitely going to be seeing what's happening in Carolina over the next few weeks because there are a couple of players that could be had whether it's on the offensive line or it could be, again, like wide receiver DJ Moore, who will be highly sought after. Brian Burns could be sought after as well. So we'll definitely have to pay attention to that. But the Cardinals have traded for wide receiver Robbie Anderson from the Carolina Panthers. That is breaking news that just happened just about maybe 20 minutes ago. And so I think this is a good move for Carolina. I mean, for Arizona, I should say, because that gives them even more weapons for Kyler Murray. And Carolina does get a little bit of draft capital. So we're going to keep going on that, but just had to break out that breaking news. So welcome it again to the Truth League Report. Glad everybody is with us. And again, make sure y'all subscribe to the show or like the show as well. You can follow me on any of the pages on the ticker below, whether it be on Facebook, whether it be on Instagram or on Twitter. And also super chats are also appreciated as well. So you can definitely give a super chat on that. So I definitely do appreciate that. But let's get into what y'all really came in here to talk about. And that's some of these games that happened over the weekend. And I have my top 5 games that I thought were the most impressive over the weekend. And of course, remember, all these episodes will be out on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, and Google Podcast as well. So let's get into number 5. The number 5 game of the week And I start with a team near and dear to my brother's heart, the Cincinnati Bengals, who get a 30-26 victory over the New Orleans Saints. A extremely impressive comeback. It looked like New Orleans had the game pretty much in hand, but after a shanked punt, which gave the Bengals new life, with under 2 minutes to go, they were able to get a game-winning drive. They were able to put a game-winning drive together, and was able to get big victory over the New Orleans Saints to move to 3-3 on the year and kind of get themselves back together. Of course, Joe Burrow threw for over 300 yards in this game, and Jamar Chase had 2 TDs, including the game winner on their return to New Orleans, on their return to Louisiana. First time that Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow have been in Louisiana since their days at LSU. So definitely a big win for the Bengals. A bad loss for the New Orleans Saints at home. Usually the Superdome is an extremely tough place to play, but a very impressive game. I watched a lot of this game, and I mean, the Bengals are definitely climbing their way out of the cellar and are definitely getting better and are getting it together as they try to make their run at the NFC North. So definitely congratulations are in store to the Cincinnati Bengals. A very, very nice win there. Ms. Mims, how you doing? Let's see. Number 4 on the list, and we have to talk about this team, the New York Football Giants. Now I really don't feel as bad what happened in the game week 1 when the Titans played the Giants. I have to admit, I thought that game was a fluke, but the Giants continue to impress. They, a lot of people are talking about the Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles, which we'll get into later in the division, but the New York Giants are basically saying, we are here too. We're here to show that, hey, we're coming. And the Giants are definitely proving that with the big victory. I mean, no interceptions thrown for Daniel Jones. Saquon Barkley with the game-winning touchdown himself after an interception thrown by Lamar Jackson that led to the Giants getting that big victory. And again, this Giant team, they're doing it. They're not doing it, flashy or anything like that. I mean, they got the big victory over Green Bay in London, and they have definitely taken, they definitely have some momentum on their side as they continue to go. Kayvon Thibodeau has been looking pretty good since he's come back from injury. He got his first sack of the season. And so, this Giant team, it's time to take them seriously. They're not your bottom-feeding Giants that we all thought they were going to be. I was certainly wrong about them, but the New York Giants are definitely a team that is going to make some noise. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when the Giants go up against the Eagles and the Cowboys coming up later on this year. So this is going to be a very interesting game. Pig Wickle, what's going on? This is a show about all of the rest of the NFL. This ain't just about the Titans. So, we'll definitely get into that, later this week, but we're definitely talking about the rest of the NFL. So a very impressive win for the New York Football Giants. Speaking of, we'll stick in the NFC East and go number 3. The only undefeated team left in football, the Philadelphia Eagles, who got a 26-17 victory over the Dallas Cowboys. And I know I was at a little get-together. I went and watched this game. watch this game because, hey, the Titans are off. Best team in the league is off this week. So, I just thought I'd watch me a little bit more NFL. And this was actually a very impressive showing by the Philadelphia Eagles. They continue to know how to turn over the football, causing some issues for Dallas. They got 3 turnovers in this game. And so the Eagles were, definitely chugging along as they usually do. They got some contributions from the receivers from A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, but their defense basically helped Cooper Rush come back down to earth. So Cooper Rush, had won every single start that he had until now. And so now, the first loss for Cooper Rush, and now, of course, everybody speculated saying that it looks like Dak Prescott will be back next week much sooner than anybody anticipated. So, it's been 6 weeks since he's been hurt. So now, he may be, coming back. He may be coming back next week for their next game. So we're definitely going to find out, against Detroit at home in Dallas. So that's going to be very interesting to see how that whole dichotomy, how that whole situation plays out. But the Eagles, very, very impressive. They're 6-0, the only undefeated team left in the NFL, and they made the Dallas Cowboys look pretty overrated, of sorts. So congratulations to the Eagles. They're 6-0. Eagles, y'all got a loss coming to the Tennessee Titans December 4th. So I would not bet on the Eagles winning that game. Got to talk a little trash, just a little bit. Number 2, the top game that I have was the thriller in Kansas City. I think everybody watched this game in particular. The Buffalo Bills getting revenge, beating the Kansas City Chiefs 24-20, and it came down to the last drives as Josh Allen was able to drive his team down the field, got the game-winning touchdown to Dawson Knox, and then Patrick Mahomes throws a back-breaking, game-ending interception that cost the Chiefs the game, where the Chiefs were, pretty much in control. The majority of the second half was up 20-17, but they were not able to close things out. Buffalo, with that, just suffocating defense, has done their job. Stephon Diggs did his usual thing of just torturing defenses, as he's always done. So I was extremely impressed with what Buffalo has done. Buffalo is showing they're the best team in the NFC. And, with Philadelphia, they are the top 2 teams in the NFL. So that's going to be very, very interesting going down the line. What happens with these 2 teams on their different roads, how that's going to end up. So, again, congrats to the Bills over their victory over the Chiefs. Of course, they move to, I believe they moved to 5-1 themselves, and they dropped the Chiefs down to 4-2, even though Patrick Mahomes threw for 300 yards in this game. So did Josh Allen, threw for 329 to be exact. But Josh Allen had one, Patrick Mahomes had one thing Josh Allen did not, and that was a turnover. So that's, definitely the thing right there. So congrats to the Buffalo Bills. But the number 1 game of this Sunday that was very impressive to me, and I think this is going to be a shock to a lot of people, the other team in New York, the Big Apple is kicking today because they don't have not one decent football team, at least right now. They have 2. The New York Football Jets getting it done in Lambeau Field. This was one I don't think anybody saw coming. Nobody saw this one coming. The Jets go up to Lambeau and took care of business. 27-10 over the Green Bay Packers, pushing them down to 3-3, I believe. And, the Jets are 4-2. So, again, I don't expect the Jets to actually challenge in the AFC East on the Bills, but they might could give the Bills I don't think they'll give the Bills a lot of trouble, but hey, stranger things have happened. If the Buffalo Bills go into their next game, whenever they play the Jets and they look overconfident against the Jets can beat them. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. They'll play in Mile High next week against the Denver Broncos, but I mean, this Jet team, impressive. They got help on defense with some big plays from Quentin Williams. They got a blocked punt that they returned for a touchdown. And so this New York Jet team, they blasted Miami last week, and now they beat Aaron Rodgers this week. So, it could be time to start flying high with the Jets, Jets. An extremely impressive win by the Jets, because again, I did not see that. I did not see it coming whatsoever. So congratulations to the New York Jets on their victory. And so now, when we have our top games, we got to talk about our top 5 ballers from this week. Who were our best ballers from this Sunday? Again, make sure y'all like the show and also subscribe to the channel, as of course our resident Titans hater, and although he has gotten it wrong more than most, Kent Wood, shout out to you. I gotta pick on him a bit because, as in a lot of people's mind, has betrayed us all, but I get it. I get it. I respect it. I think it's wrong and ill-timed, however, but everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm not going to completely bash somebody because they had the messed up mind to decide to betray their team and decide now to completely do a 180 and turn against this team and now just talk all bad about them every chance they get. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not definitely, throwing shade. I'm not throwing shade on a friend, who has, who just decides to now talk bad about the Titans at every waking moment. I'm not going to do that. That's not what I'm doing. Absolutely not. Who would think I'd do such a thing? I don't hold grudges. Never mind. That's for another story. I don't think some of y'all will hear about that. So let's keep going talking about our top 5 ballers from this week. And this is in no particular order. So I want to start off first from Sunday night. C.J. Gardner-Johnson coming in with 2 interceptions. He has been a major pickup for the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles have basically been gifted a couple of players from other teams. He got traded from New Orleans and, comes in, has 2 big interceptions in this game to help the Eagles beat the Cowboys. So C.J. Gardner-Johnson has definitely helped this defense. And they have some excellent corners, with Darius Slay and Bradbury, and they have Gardner-Johnson in the back as well. So, this Eagle team, that 6-0 record, is definitely not a fluke. It's definitely something that they are riding high. So we'll see if they keep that going. But we've seen a lot of undefeated teams ride high early, only to crash and burn late in the year, a la Arizona last season. So we're definitely going to be keeping our eyes on that, but definitely was a baller, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Another baller, I have to give credit where it's due. As much as I don't like the Patriots, Bailey Zappi, in his first home start, goes in and gets the job done. Against, even though it's against the Cleveland Browns, but they get the job done. They get a nice victory. He throws for over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. So definitely a very impressive game for for Bailey Zappi for what he was able to do, this year. So definitely congrats are in order to Bailey Zappi. And I mean, he's doing very well until Mac Jones comes back. And that could lead to the question, do they stick with Bailey Zappi even when, Mac Jones returns? So that's going to be the question right there going forward. But definitely shout out to Bailey Zappi for what he did. Third, got to go back up to Lambeau Field. Quinnen Williams with a couple of big sacks in the game. He definitely was in Aaron Rodgers' face a lot, and he definitely caused some issues for Aaron Rodgers, and that was why that defense was able to get the job done and was able to get the big victory over the Green Bay Packers. So that defense, man, they are playing extremely well. And I mean, they, for a young team, they got for a young team, they're definitely peaking maybe a little early, but they're peaking well. So we're definitely going to see if they can keep that up and keep things going. But definitely like where the Jets are definitely going. And so after that, you got to go to Josh Allen and what he did in Kansas City, beating the Chiefs in a big victory, in a big rematch from the playoff game. So I just thought that what Josh Allen was able to do in that game, he outdueled Patrick Mahomes. And, that's never an easy feat for anybody. So shout out to Josh Allen. I mean, they are no joke. They are really, really good. And so, this Bills team, they're definitely one of the heavy favorites to get to the Super Bowl and to possibly win it. So shout out definitely is in store for the Buffalo Bills and for Josh Allen. But last but not least, got to talk about the prodigal sons returning to Louisiana. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase had a lot of family in New Orleans for that game because he's from nearby Metairie, Louisiana, which is not far. And so it was basically a homecoming for him. Also kind of a homecoming for Joe Burrow, of course, from his time as an LSU Tiger as well. So those Bayou Bengals, who are now Cincinnati Bengals, Burrow threw for 300 yards, 3 TDs, 2 of them to Jamar Chase, including the game winner as they came back and beat the New Orleans Saints down in the Superdome. So the Bengals are trying to climb their way out, and they are definitely trying to, get back in the race in the NFC North and get up there and challenge. So, I mean, the NFC North is pretty open right now, so really nobody is broken away in that particular division. So Cincinnati, definitely is up there to tie with Baltimore in first place at 3-3. Buffalo, of course, is 5-1. The Jets right there at 4-2 in the AFC East. In the AFC South, of course, the Titans, even though they were off, they still lead the division with the Colts having a tie. They, of course, came back and beat the Jacksonville Jaguars yesterday, 34-27. We play the Colts next Sunday at Nissan Stadium, which I will be there for that, and watch the Titans beat the Colts. Definitely. And then, of course, in that vaunted AFC West, Kansas City, of course, at 4-2. The Chargers playing tonight. They're hoping to get to 4-2. The Broncos are hoping to get to 3-3. So, I mean, that AFC West is definitely going to be a a bloodbath. And we're going to talk about that Monday night game for a little bit in just a moment. Of course, the Eagles are coming up there behind the Giants coming up there behind the Eagles, just a game behind them in the NFC East. Minnesota at 5-1, leading the NFC North. Tampa Bay and Atlanta. And I forgot to mention this. I had the Falcons. Of course, they beat the San Francisco 49ers 28-14. That was an honorable mention game. And I kind of wanted to give an honorable mention to Marcus Mariota, who was responsible for 3 TDs as they beat the San Francisco 49ers, who are leading the West along, who are in a 3-way tie in the West as well. But Atlanta, tied up with Tampa Bay in the NFC South. So that's going to be very interesting. And then, of course, that vaunted NFC West. You got San Francisco and the Rams. But look who's coming up. The Seattle Seahawks, who got a victory over Arizona last night. And so Geno Smith, they're doing some good things up there in Seattle. So that definitely shows you that Pete Carroll is still a very, very good football coach. And so, coaching can outdo talent. You may not have all the talent in the world, which Seattle does not, but they keep finding ways to win. And so that's something that's very similar to what is going on with the Tennessee Titans. They're finding ways to win. Despite not having all the talent in the world, but if you got good coaching, and Vrabel is a good coach, even though I do have my questions on the offensive coordinator, that, can outlast talent. So that's something that has definitely been going well for Seattle. So they're in the dead heat. But let's preview Monday Night Football. And that is the Denver Broncos heading to L.A. to face off against the LA Chargers tonight. And, the Chargers are coming off of that win in Cleveland against the Cleveland Browns. The Broncos coming off of a loss to the Chargers. And they had basically an 11-day mini bye. They definitely had a little mini bye after Thursday night. So, now the Broncos have had a little bit of time to prepare for the Chargers. Russell Wilson's going to have to rebound because he's had a tough go of it. Hasn't been looking pretty good. Hasn't been looking good at all since he's donned the the Denver colors. Has not looked good at all. And this offense, it took a major hit, of course, on the offensive line. Garrett Bowles, their left tackle, is out, I think, for the remainder of the year. He's going to be out. And, Jerry Jeudy has been struggling as a wide receiver. Cortland Sutton had, of course, only 5 catches, 74 yards, and, of course, got picked off by Stephon Gilmore in the waning moments against the Colts in Denver. And then, of course, they lost in overtime 12-9. So Denver is reeling right now. And, of course, the Chargers are trying to find ways to keep going, of course, with Joey Bosa out, with Keenan Allen out, and then, of course, they lost their left tackle, Rashawn Slater, for the year as well. And so this is going to be a dogfight in LA. It's going to depend on if the Charger offense can get some things done against a very good Broncos defense. Of course, you got Bradley Chubb on one side. You got Baron Browning. Hopefully he'll be back in this game on the other side for Denver, who has definitely made an impact in place of Randy Gregory, who, of course, is out due to injury. So, right now he is day-to-day. So we do not know if Baron Browning is going to play in this game, but it looks like he has been practicing. So it does look like Baron Browning might be going in this game, which could be bad news for Justin Herbert. But that's what it's going to come down to. in this game. You know, you got Mike Williams, you got Austin Eckler, who is a do-it-all running back, and it just depends. I think it really comes down to who does better between the Broncos offense and the Charger defense. Because on the back end, J.C. Jackson has been picked on quite a bit, has not done very well. But Asante Samuel Jr. on the other side has definitely stepped it up as of late and has been doing very well. Khalil Mack, of course, we know he can definitely rush the passer and things like that, but it really is going to come down to that. Charger defense versus Bronco offense. But we know the marquee matchups is the Charger offense against the Bronco defense, and it's going to be Mike Williams versus Patrick Surtain. And that is going to be a very fun matchup to watch. Indeed. So both guys are going to be coming in on high. So we're definitely going to be finding out who is going to be the better of the two on that one. But in this game, I think the Broncos are still struggling a lot. I am going to give the nod to the LA Chargers in this game. I think they're definitely going to win. And so I'm giving it to the Chargers on this one. Let's see. Reggie B saying, what do you think CJ Broadway got from the Giants? I don't know. I've never heard of him. He's on the practice squad. They waived Josh Gordon, which I don't know why they're doing that. Maybe something's coming. I doubt it. Because I don't think J-Rob has been aggressive enough anymore. Early on, when he first got here, he was aggressive. But now, since we've gotten good, he's not as aggressive as he used to be. And so I find that to be an issue. So I don't really know about this guy. I don't know if he's going to be able to help. We'll find out. But I doubt he sees any action. He's just a practice squad guy. Trilogy Taylor, what's going on with you? Glad I got to catch you. Of course, I know Ms. Mims says she didn't watch any football. She'll basically say, I only watch Titan game, and that's it. So I definitely do understand that. But I think that's going to just about do it for the show. That's basically everything I got. Don't have any other new news to report that I know of just yet. Like I said, we did give that breaking news. Robbie Anderson traded from the Carolina Panthers to the Arizona Cardinals, and that just happened about maybe 30 minutes ago. And of course, the Arizona Cardinals, of course, they have just lost their left guard for the season with a knee injury. Trying to get that confirmed, but it looks like Arizona is going to be looking for a new left tackle as he'll be out for the remainder of the year. And just saw this compensation. The Cardinals are going to be giving the Panthers a 2024 sixth round pick and a 2024 seventh round pick. So, this happens, of course, after Hollywood Brown injured his foot and could be out for the remainder of the year. So they knew they had to make a move. So very interesting there. So a sixth round pick in 2024 and a seventh round pick in 2025. That was all for Robbie Anderson. So everybody, I think that's going to just about do it for the show. I thank everybody for tuning in to the show. Thank you for tuning in to the Truth League Report. Definitely stay tuned later this week. Of course, TNT Tonight will be coming later this week as we will preview Titans Colts 2. Can the Titans sweep the Indianapolis Colts and keep a hold of the AFC South? And everything. So we're definitely going to talk about that. We're going to definitely talk about more as the trade deadline gets closer. And can this team finally win some games convincingly and not be the cardiac Titans keeping our blood pressures up on high? So we're definitely going to talk about that. We're definitely going to be definitely also get your thoughts in on player of the week or dunce of the day from the Commanders game as well. So we're definitely going to be finding things out And also the Texans have fired their VP of football operations, Jack Easterby, who a lot of people have thought was an issue in Houston. He is now out as VP of football operations. So I just saw that as well. So thank you everybody for tuning in to the show. Hopefully everybody have a very good rest of your Monday. And I will be talking to y'all this Wednesday for TNT Tonight. If y'all come on in, I welcome all football fans. So y'all come on in, and thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a great rest of your Monday.